While most kids were still dreaming in their beds, 10-year-old Connor Bedard was already shooting pucks in his garage at 5 a.m. Fast forward to age 18, and he's the most talked about NHL rookie since McDavid. But his journey, even more mind-blowing than the rumors you've heard. Everyone acts like Connor Bedard came out of nowhere. Truth is, this kid from North Vancouver put in thousands of early mornings practicing on synthetic ice in his family's garage with a work ethic that left coaches speechless. Let's get real about how this teenager became hockey's next big thing. No myths, just the incredible true story. Little Connor Bedard, barely tall enough to see over the boards, firing pucks for hours in his family's garage. This wasn't your average setup. His parents installed synthetic ice so he could practice all year long, even during rainy Vancouver winters. He'd be out there at 5 or 6 in the morning before school, says his first coach, John Bosa. Most kids that age can't even drag themselves out of bed for practice, but Connor was already putting in extra work. What set young Connor apart wasn't just that he practiced, it was how he practiced. Even at 7 or 8 years old, he didn't just randomly shoot pucks. He'd work on specific shots from specific spots over and over again. The neighbors actually complained about the constant ping of pucks hitting targets before sunrise. His dad, Tom Bedard, laughs about it now. We weren't pushy hockey parents. It was actually the opposite. Sometimes we'd have to make him come inside because he'd completely lose track of time out there. By age 10, while other kids were playing video games, Connor was studying NHL games like a coach. He'd watch Crosby and Kane, picking up on tiny details that even adults would miss. When Connor turned 15, something huge happened. BC Hockey gave him exceptional status, a rare honor that let him play in the Western Hockey League a year early. Only 7 players in Canadian Hockey League history had received this before him, including McDavid and Tavares. This wasn't some casual decision. Officials looked at everything: his hockey skills, mental maturity, even his grades. Connor showed exceptional abilities in every part of the game, said BC Hockey CEO Barry Petrochenko. It was clear he deserved exceptional status. When the Regina Pats picked him first in the 2020 WHL draft, expectations went through the roof. Just imagine being 15 and already carrying the weight of being called the next great one. Here's where Bedard's story gets even crazier. His first WHL season with Regina happened during COVID. With barely any fans, strict health rules, and games getting canceled left and right, most players struggled to stay focused. Not Connor. In a shortened 24-game season, the 15-year-old newcomer racked up 28 points. Regina Pats coach Dave Struck was blown away. Our veterans couldn't focus with all the COVID distractions. Connor just blocked everything out. His concentration level was unlike anything I've seen in a player that young. When the WHL temporarily shut down because of COVID restrictions, most players just waited it out. What did Connor do? He convinced his parents to let him go to Sweden to play for HV71's junior program. That's a 15-year-old kid moving across the world during a global pandemic just to keep playing hockey. This wasn't a kid who needed anyone pushing him. His inner drive was already in another league. The 2023 World Junior Championship turned Bedard from hockey prospect into household name. Let's be clear about what happened. Connor didn't just play well, he broke Wayne Gretzky's Team Canada points record. Yes, that Wayne Gretzky. The numbers are mind-blowing. 9 goals and 14 assists for 23 points in just 7 games. Hockey experts who'd seen everything were shocked by what this teenager was doing against the world's best junior players. His confidence with the puck is unreal, said teammate Brant Clark. He tries plays most guys wouldn't even think of and then actually pulls them off. What really impressed scouts wasn't just his scoring. While many young offensive stars ignore defense, Bedard played the complete game. His hockey sense was off the charts. He seemed to know where everyone would be before they even got there. Ask any NHL goalie what makes Bedard special, and they'll tell you one thing: his shot. What makes it so deadly? It's not just power, it's how quickly he can fire it from any position. Most players need to set their feet, adjust their grip, and telegraph their shot. Bedard can launch a puck with pinpoint accuracy in a split second from weird angles with no warning. Regina Pats goalie Matthew Keeper, who faced that shot every day in practice, explained, "What makes his shot so hard to stop is how quickly it leaves his stick with no warning signs. Most players have some kind of weight shift or blade movement that tips you off. Connor can release from any stride or body position with the same power. This shot didn't happen by accident. Those thousands of hours shooting in the garage created something special, a release so quick and accurate that people were comparing it to elite NHL snipers like Matthews and and Stamkos before Bedard even reached the pros. During the 2022-23 season, Bedard faced pressure that would crush most players. As the obvious first overall pick for the upcoming draft, everyone watched his every move, scouts, analysts, and fans. The hockey world wasn't asking if he was good, they were asking if he was generational. That's serious pressure. How did he handle it? By putting up 71 goals and 143 points in just 57 WHL games, the highest scoring rate the league had seen in nearly 30 years. He's in that rare group of prospects who are basically NHL ready at 18, said NHL Central Scouting Director Dan Marr. His hockey sense, shot, and overall skill set are already elite. The hype got so intense that struggling NHL teams were accused by fans of deliberately losing games to improve their chances of drafting Bedard. Fans called it falling in regulation for Connor. When the Chicago Blackhawks picked Bedard first overall in the 2023 NHL draft, it wasn't just huge for him, it was the cornerstone of the franchise's rebuild after trading away stars like Patrick Kane and Jonathan Toews. His NHL debut on October 10th, 2023 against the Pittsburgh Penguins was must-see TV for hockey fans. While he didn't score, he got his first NHL point with an assist. The next game against Boston, he scored his first goal. The transition wasn't always smooth. NHL defenders are bigger, stronger, and smarter than any competition Bedard had faced before. But Blackhawks coach Luke Richardson had a plan. "We want him to play his game and be creative offensively," Richardson said. "But we're also teaching him the defensive details that will make him a complete player." His willingness to learn that side of the game has been impressive. Unlike some rookies who struggle with living on their own, Bedard adapted well to pro life. The Blackhawks assigned veteran teammates to help him with everything from finding a place to live to handling media pressure. Nick Foligno, a veteran forward, took Bedard under his wing. "He's handling everything amazingly well," Foligno said. "What impresses me is how he understands that development isn't a straight line. There will be tough nights, and he's mentally ready for that." Bedard's approach to nutrition and recovery showed maturity beyond his years. While many teenagers with newfound freedom and money might go wild, Connor stuck to the disciplined routine that got him to the NHL. Watch Bedard play for just one shift, and you'll notice something different about how his brain works on ice. While most players react to what's happening, Connor anticipates plays before they develop. What separates Connor is his processing speed, explained NHL analyst Ray Ferraro. He makes decisions with the puck that most veterans need an extra second to see. That buys him time and space in a league where both are precious. This hockey intelligence lets Bedard find teammates with passes that seem impossible or shoot through openings that look completely covered. It's not magic, it's thousands of hours studying the game combined with natural instincts. When opponents adjust their strategies against him, Bedard quickly figures out new ways to create scoring chances. This adaptability is crucial during his rookie season as teams gather more video and develop specific game plans to shut him down. For the Blackhawks, Bedard isn't just another talented rookie. He's the foundation they're building their entire future around. After trading veterans and collecting draft picks, GM Kyle Davidson is creating a new core with Connor at the center. "We're building something special here," Davidson said after drafting Bedard. "Connor is obviously a generational talent, but what excites us equally is his character and commitment to winning." The parallels to another famous Chicago draft pick, Patrick Kane, in 2007 are obvious. Kane also came to a rebuilding Blackhawks team and eventually led them to 3 Stanley Cups. The hope is that Bedard can follow a similar path. Hockey development expert Darryl Belfry, who has worked with stars like Sidney Crosby and Austin Matthews, sees something special in Bedard. Connor represents the next evolution in player development. He's internalized modern skills training from such a young age that these advanced techniques are completely natural to him. What truly sets Bedard apart from most young stars is his mindset. He doesn't just want to be good, he's obsessed with getting better. After games, while other players are unwinding, Connor is often reviewing video, identifying things to work on. This approach started when he was just a kid. His minor hockey coaches remember him keeping notebooks where he'd write down things he needed to improve. This wasn't his parents' idea. It came from Connor himself. As Bedard continues his NHL journey, his impact goes beyond just his own stats. He represents a new generation of hockey talent, players who've grown up with access to advanced training methods, video analysis, and skill development techniques. The hockey world is watching to see if he can live up to the enormous expectations. Will he follow the path of Connor McDavid and Sidney Crosby to superstardom, or will the pressure and physical demands of the NHL create unexpected challenges? What's certain is that Bedard's story, from those early mornings in North Vancouver to the bright lights of Chicago's United Center, is just beginning. And it's a story built not on hype or exaggerations, but on an incredible mix of natural talent, unmatched work ethic, and pure love for the game. The kid who once wore out the synthetic ice in his family's garage is now wearing the iconic Blackhawks jersey, carrying the hopes of one of hockey's most storied franchises. No pressure, right?